Here now. Okay. Okay. I think I did it again. I think I'm live streaming. Let me get a pen. I can't really function without a pen or pencil in my hand. I don't know what that is. What is that when you're just happy you're holding a pen or pencil or having it? There are so many fascinating and sometimes disturbing topics that could be talked about going on in the horse world and in training that I could really do this every day. I mean, maybe I probably had 4 fascinating conversations today. What's exciting for me is that you guys are now informed enough, you are educated enough in riding that you are seeing things for what they are and are wonderful to talk with. Understand the riding, the horses understand the riding. And that brings up a point. I actually spent a lot of time this summer with a dog trainer from Canada named Bree Charity in Alberta. And she and I spent hours on Zoom talking about behaviorism versus training and what really distinguishes it. And I'm very bothered by the trend of behaviorism in the horse world and conditioned responses. That isn't what riding is. Riding is a language. Equitation is a language, and it's comprised of the 4 natural aids. And the doctrine of combined effects, like now, if you go back and read the riding books, keep your eyes peeled for how frequently the phrase combined effects or combine these effects or the effects in combination, or it is the effects of the aids that are combined and not the aids themselves. So for that reason, the horses learn the language of the aids, and then they themselves can infer from the combination of the aids, from the combined effects of the aids, the horses can reply. They can infer, they can reason, they cognitively understand, even if it is a combination of aids they had not yet practiced. We've all felt a good horse, I think. And I'm assuming because you guys who watch this show are all accomplished horsemen already. Haven't you felt it when you feel the horse go, oh, whoa, so that would be this. And you're like, yes, that's that, because they are inferring from the language of the aids and from their previous experience. They can draw conclusions. They reason. Horses reason. It is not conditioned responses. It is reason, and we communicate with language. And what we communicate are the natural aids, which are divided into 2 groups. Those that are heard. I hear, the horse hears if I use my click of my tongue or a word, canter, whoa, get. They know words, back. They know that word. They don't need to know that many words. The aids are divided into those that are heard and those that are felt. So it is a language of sensations. The aids that are felt come through, there's that word, the rider's feet. The rider's position is the instrument through which the information, the sensation that has been assigned a meaning in the language of riding goes through the rider's seat into the horse. Now, those 3 aids are the aids that are felt are the seat and its weight, the leg, especially the leg at the girth, and the hand. the hand, separate from the seat and leg, manages the tiny transmissions into the bit, which rests in the bars of the horse's mouth, which are on the lower jaw only. And that gives the horse information. The first bit of information being always, oh, my jaw can be loose. Oh, my bit's alive. Okay. So now that's the hand, the seat and the leg. But what I'm mostly interested in you guys understanding the idea of through, because throughness and through the back is going to be the topic of at least the first quarter or probably the first half of 2025. And there's going to be another class going public. It's class 107, through the back. It's going to be on the bit, through the back, throughness. And is that all? Did I say on the bit? And the reason why it's on the bit is because on the bit must. So we've all seen, everyone is fascinated with the little arched neck and the outline of the horsey in the on the bit outline, and BTV bad, horsey round neck but not BTV. But there is another feature of on the bit, and that is a degree of throughness. Through the back means that the top of the horse and all the muscles that surround the rib cage are transmissive and conductive. And that also means that my seat, which is my base of support, which is the part of my seat that is in contact with either the saddle or the horse if I'm bareback, that must also be conductive. So for tissue to be conductive, it has to have zero resistances in it. Therefore, all the muscles need to be flaccid, no muscle, flaccid, so that motion, momentum, and impulse, including information, i.e. the natural aids, can go through it. And when what it means, if it's through, it means it's conductive. And what conductive, the definition of conductive is that motion, momentum, or impulse, which could even include electricity, can go through the material, or in this case, it's living tissue, without and go through to the point that it's supposed to contact with or make an impression on, without changing the rest of the material. So if my aid goes through, it just goes through into my horse's body, and he's like, yeah, that's practically same as my body. And that brings up the whole topic of Durchlässigkeit and Schwung. But I just wanted to read you. So to start getting ready for 107 and to start this idea of through, and that it does apply to the theme of the autumn, which is our seat. Is our seat conductive? Is our seat through? In the chapter, which is chapter 4, parentheses 2, riding a horse on the bit, it's pages 81 through 83. I constantly reference it. There is this important paragraph. You can tell that a horse is, quote, on the bit or to the bit, not only from the position of the head and neck, but from the fact that he is using his back. The activity created by the engaged hindquarters must be transmitted through a supple and rounded back and a rounded neck, which means that it's soft and through, into the bit. So I hope you just heard that big word, through. The horses learn to be through, but we must also be through. And our aids go through. Our aids only can go through when our position is ideal, which means that it is plum, ear, shoulder, hip, heel, and blah, 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 los galasanite. Soft, soft. So the aid goes through. It goes through. It just drops through. Now, I'm going to try my screen share thing again. I know I wasn't very good at it last week, but I'm going to show you an example. You're going to be able to see the rider's right weight go through into the horse's right hindquarter. Here we go. Let's see if I can pull this off. Okay, so it's this. I want this. Let's get this big. Let's see. Okay, this is just going to play over and over now. So the rider's right weight is coming. He loosened. Watch the right horse hip. Did you see that go through into the horse's hindquarter? It's going to play again. It's just going to play again and again. It went through into the horse's hindquarter. The horse engaged his hindquarter. The weight of the rider, a tiny weight, the rider's very skinny. It went through into the horse. And it didn't disturb the rest of the system. He didn't pin his ears. He didn't freak out. The rider didn't stiffen. The weight just drops through the right side. Right there. It went into the horse. So this is very, very much slowed down. But it's a clear example of rider's weight going. It comes through the rider, into the horse, through the horse. And then the horse is through his joint. So the aid went through. The horse is through. And the joint is through, meaning the joint is engaged, and that joint isn't going to pop open. Okay, here I am gesticulating, and I don't even know if you guys can see me. So I really hope that you're able to see that. Here it comes. See? We can almost see the nerve twitch in the muscles surrounding the right quadrant of the right butt of the horse takes that aid. Okay, so, I've said quite a lot in a concentrated way. I am still struggling with preparing content for writers who just might appear or are watching, or to keep concentrating on you guys who are in work and can follow along what I'm saying. For all I know, it may be gibberish to outside people, but I don't think so, because this is like a beginner book. This is children read this. It's not very hard. Don't be hard on your seat.